Hello everyone, and welcome. We came out for the weekend to our favorite spot again. It was a long hike in. We brought the canoe, then we had to go back for the second run and bring all the gear. So now we're going to set up camp, cut some firewood because we didn't leave any last time we were here. And we'll get all set up and we'll bring you back a little later. Why don't you come along on our adventure this weekend and see what we get into. Tent's all set up. We've got everything out. Chairs are ready. I got the fire ready. We're gonna light the fire soon. And then we'll probably cook dinner. I prepped the fire a little earlier. Got everything ready. I'm just gonna grab my fire kit and we're gonna go and light the fire. Wait a minute. Did you see the fire kit?
Nope, haven't seen it. Did you check my bag?
No, I'm positive I put it in. It's always in this bag.
Nope.
And the zipper was open. I never leave the zipper open. Did I maybe take it out and leave it at home?
I don't know.
I know I took it out last night and checked it, but I'm positive I put it back in here. Well, at least there's a ferro rod on my knife. I'll be able to use that. Worst comes to worst, there's always a lighter in my pocket. Like I said, I pre-prepped the fire earlier. I put a bunch of birch bark in there, a little bit of cedar bark. But without the fire kit, this is a brand new knife, brand new ferro rod. Clean it off a little. There we go. Of course it's going to give me a hard time now. Can't believe I left that fire kit at home. So now that it's burnt down and we've got some decent coals, I'm going to put the sausages over here. We brought Johnsonville all beef sausages and some buns, and we're just going to have sausage on a bun for dinner tonight. So we're going to turn the camera off, finish cooking dinner, and I'm probably going to cut a bit more firewood and then enjoy the rest of our evening. We'll bring you back in the morning. Morning, everyone. And still sleeping. I just got up and realized I didn't go get any water last night for my filter. So if I want to have oatmeal for breakfast, I better go for a walk. So let's go down, and I think I'm going to fill both bags because I'm not on the island this time, so I don't have water right next to me. It's just over there, but I'd rather go get it where it's running a little stronger. So here we are, ready for water collection. Perfect. 2 bags of water so I don't have to run down so often. Now let's go back and see about making some oatmeal for breakfast. So, got my kettle. Took out my little propane cooker. And 3 packets of oatmeal. 2 peaches and cream and a maple and brown sugar, just to give it a little extra flavor. Let me get some water, and we'll put that on the boil and get that going. Oh, it's a beautiful morning. Quite foggy though. They're calling for a cloudy day with a small chance of showers. I think I may put up the tarp a little later today, once this fog lifts and I see what the sky looks like. If it looks like rain, I'll tarp it up and we'll have a place to hide in the rain. Well, water's on. The oatmeal's there. I guess I should go get my bowls, or a bowl, and get ready to have some oatmeal. Okay, so I got my bowl and my spoon, and wait a minute. There's only 2. I thought for sure I took out a maple and brown sugar. Okay, that's just weird. Yesterday, forget my fire kit. This morning, I swear I took out a maple and brown sugar. Oh well, I guess I'll have to take out another one once that water's boiling. So now, I have my maple and brown sugar. Water's boiling. Let's turn that off. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to eat that. And then I think, while it's still cool, I'm going to go out and get some more firewood for tonight. There's not a whole lot left. If you're wondering what happened to this afternoon's fishing trip, you're pretty much looking at it. I cut some firewood. We were just getting ready to start cooking lunch when it started to rain. I had to put everything away, put the tarp up. So we've been sitting here watching the tarp collect water and pushing it off once in a while. We hung the radio up, we listened to music for a little bit. I brought some of the longer pieces of wood in here that I hadn't finished cutting, so I've been cutting a bit of wood here and there throughout the afternoon. But yeah, pretty much I think the rest of our evening is going to be spent sitting under the tarp, hiding from the rain. I might grab my knife and do a few little whittling projects, but who knows? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Not much else to do sitting in the rain. If I'd have brought my rain suit, I'd have gone fishing off the rock, but I grabbed the jacket, forgot the pants. Oh well. And when it picks up, it's raining way too hard to be out there anyway. As you can see, Lucy's all wet. She doesn't seem to care about hiding under the tarp.
It's raining heavily. Andy's cutting more wood. We're just listening to the radio. Just enjoying the evening. Watch this.
Morning, everyone. The rain stopped at about 3:30 last night, or this morning. And when I got up this morning, it was still gray and gloomy. Now it looks like the clouds are breaking up and the sun's going to try and come out. So I'm making a pot of coffee. I'm going to have a cup and I'm going to leave the rest for Anne when she gets up. She can warm it up. I'm going to do a couple of little chores around here. I got to go get some water again. And then we're going fishing. Perfect timing. Look who's getting up. I hear the zipper on the tent. I bought a new rod holder. I want to try that out this weekend. Which is why I was kind of disappointed with all the rain yesterday. I was hoping to do some fishing. But I'm going to finish making this coffee. I'm going to go get some water. Then I'm going to get everything ready and we're going to go fishing. With any luck, we'll catch a few. So, the sun's out. We're in the canoe. We've got our Dollarama lure. I set up my Scotty's rod holder. So let's paddle around and test out this rod holder and see if it was worth the money I spent on it. Whew. Got awful close to that rock there. Hopefully the lure just squirts on by it. Even better, skirts past it and catches a fish. So far, I've only had one bite. But I'm paddling out to that spot where I caught the fish last time I was here. See if I can't scare something up again. Seeing as it's not a super bright day, and we're getting cloudy periods, I was hoping that the little bit of cloud would have the fish hitting a little harder. But either way, I'm still out here fishing. And there's nothing better than being out at camp or out fishing. As long as I'm out. I love being out here where it's peaceful, quiet. All you hear is the birds, the squirrels, the wind. I'll tell you, sleeping with the sound of the rain on the tent last night was amazing. Love that sound. Yesterday was the first time we've actually had a whole day of rain where we had to set up the tarp and hide under the tarp all day, and it was fantastic. Did a bit of carving, listened to some music very quietly. Had some very good conversations. Some of those conversations revolved around cooking the fish that I'm going to catch today, but we may have jinxed ourselves. Alright, lure, do your thing. Catch me some fish. Throw the lure out. And we have a nice little bass. Anne's gonna be happy. She was looking forward to a snack of fresh fish. I wasn't planning on keeping one that was that small, but he was in rough shape. And when they're in rough shape, I can't throw them back knowing that they're gonna die. If they don't have a chance of survival, they have a chance of being dinner. since the last update, I've caught a tiny little pike. I threw that one back. Wasn't harmed, wasn't worth keeping. And since then, I snagged on a rock and lost one of my Dollarama lures. Oh, I'm out a whole $1.25. That really breaks my heart. Worst part is, Dollarama near my place has decided that although fishing season is still open, it's not worth keeping lures. I was in there 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, hoping to pick up more lures. They already had their Halloween decorations out, and they were starting to take out the Thanksgiving. I mean, really, people? We just hit September. There's still a lot of good fishing going on. That just means next year when they take out their lures, I'm going to go in and buy lots, not just one or two. Now that I know they work. Paddling back to fish closer to camp, I hooked onto 2 tiny little bass and a small pike, and I got this guy. Not huge, but once again, not gonna survive, so yet another keeper. It's almost 11 o'clock now, and a fish for just a little bit more, and then head back to camp. Maybe have a sandwich for lunch. And a little later this afternoon, I'm going to clean that fish and maybe have a bit of fish for dinner. Who knows? I might even get lucky and catch a few more before going in. Or maybe this afternoon, if it doesn't start raining, it doesn't look good, but if it doesn't start raining, I might come out and catch some more. Sometimes it pays to go with your gut and go fish a little closer to camp. Now we're heading towards dinner. Haven't had lunch yet, but we almost have enough for dinner. If I can catch another 1 or 2 small ones like that, that should be lots. Wish me luck. Came back to shore I'm gonna go check on how Anne's doing. Hopefully that tent didn't get rained on. I'm gonna have a bit of lunch. Probably cut a little bit of firewood. And if Anne wants to go for a canoe ride later, I might do a bit more fishing. If not, I might go myself. I'll leave the stringer tied to the back of the canoe so that the fish can stay in the water where it's cooler. And that way if I go back this afternoon, the stringer's there. So, I'm gonna head on up to camp. And we'll see you in a little bit. Good news. That first tiny little sprinkle, Anne was gone on a walk. But when she saw the sprinkles, she ran back, managed to cover the tent before the big rain. That short little 5-minute big rain we have, the tent was covered, everything inside is dry. Thanks, Anne, great job. Then she was able to hang the tarp and let it dry out. So it's over the tent, protecting everything for now. I'm gonna have lunch and then I'll give her a hand and we'll put it on properly and stake it in. And then she's talking about maybe going for a nap, so I might cut a bit of firewood and then go back fishing. Well, lunch was good. Had a couple of wraps with some lunch meat, some tomatoes, lettuce. Delicious. But I wanted to come back and make sure the canoe was okay. Make sure it hasn't moved anywhere. And everything seems fine. Oh no. Where's my stringer? I left it tied beside the seat. It must not have clipped properly. Darn. Well, so much for fish this afternoon. I guess I'm gonna have to go cut the firewood that I needed, and then if I can, go back and fish again. With any luck, I'll come across the stringer somewhere, but I don't see it anywhere in the water here. I don't see anything floating. And I was looking forward to that fish. That would have been delicious tonight. Anne's gonna kill me when she finds out I lost the fish. Oh well, good thing she's having a nap. Mr. Onoping, where do you think you're going with my fish? And what are you doing out here anyway? Well, Mr. Onoping, what are you doing out here? You know, your family has no idea where you are and they're worried. You're always getting into trouble. Huh. Speaking of trouble, I knew I didn't leave it at home. Stealing my fish, taking my fire kit. Not happy. But it is a nice setup. Nice little hammock you've got over there. Love that little table you bushcrafted. That's awesome. But it is pretty dangerous out here. I think we should pack up your stuff then move you back to our camp. You can camp closer to us. That way we can make sure you're safe until we can get you home. For those of you who don't know, Anne's daughter has a whole bunch of calico critters. These little things. And each one has its own character, its own mannerisms. This one right here, as you've probably heard, is Mr. Onoping, the little hedgehog. He's the troublemaker out of her bunch. She's constantly telling us all these stories of things he's getting into and making us laugh. Such an imagination. This weekend, she found out we were coming camping and she asked if we could bring him along and take a few funny pictures with him. So we decided to do a video as well. So now, you've all met Mr. Onoping. I decided to come out and do a bit more fishing. I invited him to come along, but he declined the offer. He said he preferred to go on his own. And he wished that he had his own canoe. So after I cut some firewood, I gave him a hand. And we built him one. And I do believe that that's bottom. Okay. So yeah, I let him borrow my knife and we took turns and we actually managed to build him a nice canoe. Don't be surprised if we don't see him out on the water at some point. Okay, I'm gonna get back to doing some fishing. So, we're back in the bay near camp. Sky's getting dark again. And it's 5:30 now, so figure a few more minutes of fishing, and if I don't get nothing, well, the 3 we got this morning is the 3 we got. But I figured I'd give my thoughts on the new Scotty's rod holder that I bought. So far, I love it. I've got it set right now perfectly, that it's out of my way when I paddle. But it lets me throw my line out there. And I don't have to hold on to the rod with my leg or be a contortionist to hold on to the rod and paddle at the same time. Which means now I don't just paddle to where I want to fish and fish it. I can throw the line out and just leave it out there. Improves my odds. Usually. But those are just my thoughts on it. But this way, it's in front of me. The rod is off to the side of the boat. I can keep an eye on the tip, see if it's getting any action. So far, well worth the money. Now I bought it with the gunnel clamp, and I was worried that it wouldn't fit on the side of the canoe, but the edges are thick enough, it's not a problem. And like I said, I can paddle around and chit chat and do what I'm doing and leave the rod there. And still catch fish. Oh, you were hungry. You're gonna force me to keep you, aren't you? I just got the canoe put away, and as I was about to head up to camp to get my knife to come and clean the fish, this happened. So I stuck the fish back in the river, pinned them down with a rock so they're not going anywhere. I guess I'll go clean the fish after this rain stops. I've got the oil heating in the pan and pre-cooked some rice a little while ago. Now she's gonna fry up some onions and some peppers. Is there any mushrooms left?
Nope.
Okay, well, onions and peppers. I'm gonna cook the fish in fish crisp, and then we'll put the veggies in the rice and call that dinner. Fish crisp, original. The oil is just about hot enough. So in total we ended up with 2 small bass and 2 small pike. Should be perfect for dinner. Oh, that looks really good. The last of the fish is cooking. After we eat, I'm going to take that bucket down to the river, dump it out and clean it. This, I will have to burn it again after we eat. Oh, you had it on low? I thought it was out. I thought you were going to light it to warm it up again, but that's perfect. There's the rice with vegetables. And then we'll have the fish on the side. That is going to be delicious. Look who smelt the fish and showed up for dinner. Morning, everyone. Getting the water on to boil to make coffee. This guy's not too sure what it wants to do again this morning. The sun was out a little while ago and now the clouds are rolling in again. It's been a damp weekend. Raining on and off. Rained again a little bit last night. Everything's a little wet. It's just a touch cool this morning. Not cold, just a little cool. So I thought I'd light a fire and have something to warm up by. Now it got me thinking, everything's damp. There's all kinds of ways to light fire when things are damp. I always keep a small jar with cotton balls that are coated in just a little bit of Vaseline. Let me get this set up and I'll show you how it works. Now, a regular cotton ball, throw a spark at it. It'll ignite, but it'll burn almost instantly. With a little bit of Vaseline, it'll act as a fire extender. And that'll actually burn long enough for you to set some small twigs on fire. Great thing to keep in your gear. That way if you get caught out in the rain, you got something to help you get going. Get a fire going, keep you warm. Help you dry out. So as you can see, it's a pretty neat trick. Quite handy for lighting a fire quick. And it works well when everything is damp. Just one more thing that might help you out. Now I'm going to finish making my coffee and sit here and relax a while. Wait till everyone gets up. Well, that's another weekend done. It was fantastic. The weather didn't always cooperate, but we worked around it. It's always wonderful when we can get out here. Well, I guess you never know what to expect when you're watching Andy in the woods. Bet you nobody expected Mr. Onoping. So, we're going to finish our coffee, pack everything up. It's starting to cloud over again, so we're going to try and get out of here before it rains. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. And if you're going to do that, you may as well hit the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I put out a new video. Thanks for joining us. We appreciated having you around. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.